Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Streetender, and today I'm going to talk about the new hero in Overwatch. Her name is Orisa. And Orisa is a female robot character made by a very smart 11-year-old in order to protect the citizens of Nimbani against a unknown new threat that is going to appear soon, according to what the developers of Overwatch have told us so far. But her backstory is not really that important, honestly. Let's talk about what she actually does. Now, Orisa is a new tank character. She is actually a ranged tank. I think, apart from Zarya to some degree and maybe Warthog, she is actually the first, I think, real ranged tank. She comes with 200 health and 200 armor, so she has the same health pool as Zarya has. She does have armor instead of normal shields though, but I think we all know by now that armor doesn't regenerate, but shields do. Now her abilities, well, first off let's start talking about her weapon. Her weapon is basically sort of a machine gun. It has a similar rate of fire as a Soldier 76's assault rifle, yes. However, it has a significant amount of spread. It does not appear to have a... It is reasonably effective at long range, but I would not count on it being very effective because it has a lot of spread. And this spread, in opposing to the assault rifle that Soldier 76 has, does not build up. So it doesn't help to fire in bursts. So that was a little bit... That was like my main letdown on this character. I was hoping to have like a really effective hero at long range, but this is not that effective, to be honest, because of that spread that the weapon has.
Now, something that I discover afterwards is that this weapon is not actually a hitscan weapon. It actually has a projectile, and with a certain projectile speed. So you need to keep that in mind when you aim at your targets. You need to lead your targets a little bit, aim ahead of them. And that was a mistake that I was probably making. That's probably the reason why I was missing so many of my shots and not the spread of this weapon.
The first ability is a right click ability, which is sort of a minimum version of Zarya's ultimate. It's called Halt. It has an 8 seconds cooldown, it does not do damage, and it has not a very long duration. It's like a little orb you fire at the enemies and it pulls enemies toward them if you right click again. So it doesn't do any damage, sadly. But what you can do is some pretty neat and interesting stuff. It only has 8 seconds cooldown, so you can use it pretty often. You can just use it together with other people's ult. You can also try to use it to get people to pull people off cliffs, as such. So it's an ability by itself. It's not really that strong, but it opens up a lot of opportunities. Next ability is Fortify, which is his shift ability by default. Fortify is a ability that lasts only 4 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. This temporarily reduces the amount of damage that she takes by, I think it was like about 50% of damage reduction, basically. And it also prevents her from being affected by stuns and slows, basically. So, want to go up against MA, that is being very annoying. This is a pretty good counter ability to Mei or McCree stun or a soldier. A Reinhardt charge ability. This also works against that. It basically just is like Reinhardt hits a wall, basically. So Fortify is a pretty good ability, I'd say, that you probably should use pretty often. The next ability is something that will very much benefit your teammates, and this is a protective barrier. This is a barrier that you can plop it down. It's very similar to Reinhardt's shield, basically, but you can plop it down where you want it. It is stationary, however, and it has much less health than Reinhardt's. In fact, this only has 900 health. So it's pretty easy to take down. It doesn't last very long. It's not very strong, but it can help your teammates survive some more damage. Pretty useful ability. And her last but not least, her ultimate ability is very similar to what's her name? Mercy's damage boost ability, but it's basically a group boost. Yeah, it's a little supercharger that you pop down. That's the name of the ability, by the way. It's supercharger. And this supercharger is a little thing pop down, and the people around the supercharger will gain a severe increase to the damage that they deal. Which is a bit weird that you give this to a tank hero, but then again, this is very much this character feels very much like a support tank. I wouldn't want this tank to be my only tank in the group, I think. But she's very excellent in helping prevent some more damage with the barrier, also surviving some damage herself with that fortify, and she does have our armor on her side, so if you have a good healer on you, this is going to be a pretty decent performing hero. Well, I say that, but I haven't really succeeded in playing her very well myself yet, so that's why this is also not an in-depth guide on how to play her. So I would suggest I play her, use her abilities very often, where you can. Her abilities are very useful, quite powerful. Her main weapon is not very effective as long range because of the spread, so keep that in mind. It can be used as pretty much like a suppressive fire kind of weapon. Can also be used for that, to just get an enemy off and do a little bit of damage. But that's basically Orisa in a nutshell. A hero that was a little bit of a disappointment, basically. People were expecting Doomfist, and that's the reason why a lot of people were disappointed in her. My personal reason for being disappointed in her is because I expected this to be a very effective long-ranged hero. And she's honestly not that effective at long range because of that spread. And I do, as I said before, I do hope they reduce that spread in the future. Anyways, that was pretty much Orisa in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, and take care, folks.